With respect to the topic of today's video, I want to start today's video by taking a few moments to just sit silently. So, if you'd like to join me, feel free. If you don't have the time, it's okay to leave and click off, but yeah, let's just start this video off by just taking a moment to just sit silently. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if a handful of people have already clicked off of this video out of just sheer boredom and lack of contentment from the contents that are being provided to them in this past 3 minutes. But if you're still here and you're going to stay with me through today's video, that's kind of what we're going to be talking about is the constant seeking of information and stimulation and what it's called in this era that we live in is generally known as dopamine hits, little hits of information, little rushes of a funny video or a fascinating video or whatever it is. So what we were just doing was sitting silently. That's all we were doing. We were just sitting here. We were just sitting here with just what is. What is has been happening for a very, very, very long time. Not our life in particular, but being here right now, this world, happening, awareness, has been happening for a very, very long time. And I wouldn't say what we were just doing would be called meditation. Maybe when I mentioned to sit silently, you sort of readjusted yourself to get ready for like a little mini meditation. I kind of did it as well. I took sitting silently as a sort of initiative to just take a moment to meditate. But I wouldn't necessarily call sitting silently meditating. But nevertheless, people have been sitting silently for thousands and thousands of years. And with that, people have been having trouble sitting silently for thousands and thousands of years. In that little period of time in the beginning of this video where we just sat silently, it was only, a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes or so. I can't speak for you, but for me, the mind it doesn't want to sit silently. You can sort of use your will to sit yourself down and to sit silently and to not move about and to not do anything. But the mind reflects something differently. The mind reflects a sort of chasing of gratification, of stimulation. I feel like stimulation is a better word. The mind is reflecting a constant seeking of stimulation. When we sit silently, the mind is remembering and planning and wondering why it's sitting silently and scheming and moving about from points of focus. It's hearing something, and then it smells something, and then it feels something, and then it sees something, and the mind is just moving all about. It's like wind blowing. It's like waves of tons of different points of focus and different arousals of information. And sitting silently is a very good example. It's a very good segue into what I want to talk about in this video, which essentially is how we have trouble just being here right now without outer stimulation. And moreover, I feel like there's an increase in the inability to just be with what is in the time that we live in now. What I'm going to be talking about specifically in this video is essentially our attention span and our constant seeking of the dopamine hits, of sources of stimulation and information and gratification and whatever it is that we're looking for. This culture that we live in now, we are more technologically active and advanced than we have ever been, as far as we know. Right now, I'm recording on this phone, and all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitter, or X as it's known as now, TikTok. Can't forget TikTok, man. I'll tell you right now, I am proud to say that I am someone who does not have TikTok, has never had TikTok, and will never get TikTok. Because I feel like, see, that's the thing, is that they're all kind of moving into that style of dopamine hits and short little bursts of information. But TikTok to me seems like, I've said it before, TikTok should be called toxic, because it is the epitome of toxic. It's the epitome of what I want to talk about in this video, which is essentially the degradation of our attention span as human beings. Do you remember years ago the social media platform Vine, which was 6-second videos? The max amount of time that you could make a Vine was 6 seconds, I believe it was. At the time, of course, I was quite young at the time when that came around, but I feel like that was kind of the beginning of these short little bursts of information. And then TikTok came and just swept everyone away. It was just this storm that swept everyone away into it, and now everyone's making TikToks and has TikTok and is scrolling through TikToks, and there's all these trends and all these little things going on TikTok. You go on the App Store, on the Apple App Store, and you look up an app, rather than the first option being the app that you looked up, the first option you see when you look something up on the App Store is TikTok. I could look up YouTube on the App Store, but TikTok comes up first. Why is that? I'm not going to be... this isn't going to be a conspiratorially oriented video. I'm not going to be talking about the plots of the government and the plots of the Chinese people trying to take over America and all that stuff. I want to focus more towards what the social media in this time that we live in is, the effect that that's having on us. So I made a video just the other day. I think it was yesterday or something. I don't have power right now. It's why I'm still holding my microphone, and I'm in a different location than my YouTube videos usually are. I don't have power right now. Something I've noticed about not having power in this, it's been, I think, 2 days we haven't had power. There's this feeling of like, what now, man? You know, oh, geez, no power. How am I going to play my video game? How, you know, now I don't have internet. How am I going to charge my phone? What am I going to do? You know, oh no, I don't have power. Now I can't distract myself with all this technology stuff. Losing power, I've noticed, has brought me more into the immediacy of this moment. And although it may seem to be a negative thing to lose power, I mean, as far as convenience is concerned, yeah, a little bit. You can't take a shower. I mean, unless you have a generator, but you can't take a shower. You don't have heat, maybe. No running water, no lights. So, convenient-wise, losing power isn't fun, you know. But what I've noticed in this past 2 days of not having power is it's bringing me into the moment. I'm right here. Now what am I going to do? I live with my grandfather, and my grandfather and I have been talking way more. We've been working together on doing dishes because we can't use the dishwasher, so we're helping each other with that, cleaning up, cooking each other food. We're playing cribbage and card games. We're talking, reminiscing, telling stories. I'm helping him collect water with 5-gallon buckets outside with the snow that's melting off the roof. We're working together. We're in the moment together. We're talking, we're sharing, we're experiencing this moment together. And there was a really interesting moment last night or the night before or something. Still, again, no power. It was me, my brother, and my grandfather. Me and my brother, of course, being decades younger than my grandfather, we were sitting on the couch and we were on our phones just scrolling through shit. I looked over at my grandfather and he's sitting there with his eyes closed. Now, I'm sure in his mind, he's not meditating. He's not trying to attain spiritual awakening or any of that stuff. But he's resting in this moment. He's allowing himself to be what he is. He's probably very much so thinking and just pondering and stuff happening, but he's resting. He's relaxing in this moment. And he's not distracting himself with these little robots that we have that are so prominent in this time that we live in, you know? And it was beautiful, really. I felt, damn, like, I admired that about him. My brother and I are over here, and we're scrolling through our phones, doom scrolling, for no reason, to distract ourselves from the feeling of restlessness that comes about when we're not scrolling on our phones. Meanwhile, my grandfather's sitting there just resting in this moment, just being here. And it was beautiful. And I said, you know, man, that's what it's all about right there. Now, I'm not here to put down where we're at as far as social media and technology. I mean, after all, that's what this YouTube channel is it's a social media platform that serves as a means of me sharing what I have to say with you guys, and for you guys to spend your time watching and listening to what I have to say. I appreciate and honor that so much. But the reason I don't have, I mean, I've been making reels and stuff, you know, like if you're into my YouTube channel, I've been making reels, but the reels that I make are a clip from my longer videos. I don't generally make reels as a main staple way of posting content for you guys. So on YouTube, I make reels just as a clip. It's kind of like more so a preview of a YouTube video, you know what I mean? Like, go check out the actual video. This is a clip of it if you find it interesting, you know? But I don't make a lot of reels. I don't have TikTok. I find myself trying to avoid the short, instant gratification that comes with clickbaity stuff, you know? All over YouTube, man, it's annoying. It's annoying. There's these, first of all, kind of short videos, you know, 5 to 10 minutes. But the thumbnail, and it could be talking about something pretty interesting, but the thumbnail is so absurdly clickbaity that I don't even want to watch it, because it's like it's like they're looking at the audience as this thing to be manipulated to give them likes and subscribers and possibly even money. And, you know, it's don't do this. This happened when he did that. You know what I'm saying? And there's like red arrows and circles around shit that doesn't even mean anything. And it's honestly really, really cringy. And when I see a video that's utilizing that clickbait stuff, it's honestly, it turns me away from it. I disengage from stuff that I see that has those clickbait things, because what I see when someone posts videos like that with those clickbaity titles, and another thing in as far as YouTube is concerned, is capitalizing certain words, where, you know, like, you'd never believe what happened when he did this, you know, like capitalizing random stuff in the title, all to try to get me to click on it out of my own lack of ability to be interested in what I'm seeing. They're trying to trick me into thinking I want to watch it. And it's really cringy. And it's just, it shows me that whoever's making videos like that is more concerned with how many people are watching their videos and liking their videos and subscribing to their channel than they are to the actual quality and content of what they're sharing. You know what I mean? They're more concerned with viewers and likes than they are with teaching people. So that's just one thing, but that's kind of what I'm talking about. Of the it's this social revolution, this social media revolution that we're in, is trying to grab our attention, pull us in. You know what I mean? And yeah, just to speak personally, I don't really like making a video that's 5 minutes long, or even like 10 minutes, you know what I mean? Because generally these ideas that I have to share with you guys, I can't flesh it out in 5 minutes. I can't convey it in 10 minutes. It can take me upwards of an hour to really fully deliver the message that I'm trying to share with you guys. And if you're one of the people that sticks around and watches and absorbs what it is that I'm sharing with you, you're the ones I'm making the videos for. I'm trying to teach. I'm not trying to collect likes and subscribers. I'm trying to give information to just share and just be human together. But I see it all around on YouTube, on mainly YouTube as a form of, you know, because on YouTube you see the cover. On other social medias like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, you don't see a cover that you either click on or scroll past. On those other social medias, you're immediately seeing the thing. So on YouTube, at least talking about that, that's where you see a lot of the nonsense of the clickbait thumbnails and the BS titles that try to suck you into them because you have nothing better to do with your time. You know what I'm saying? So that stuff's really cringy to me. But another thing is the growing and rising popularity of short, little, tiny little videos that are pointless. And I'm sharing all this stuff right now, but I am a victim of it myself. I scroll through reels on Instagram and YouTube, shorts, and Reels and TikToks. I don't scroll through TikToks, but Shorts and Reels and all that stuff, I do it too. I do the doom scrolling too. But something I notice is that I won't do it for no more than 5-minute spans, because as I continue scrolling and just absorbing this bullshit, nonsensical stuff that doesn't amount to anything for the benefit of me or helping others or whatever it is, I can feel how I'm just wasting my time. And it's very curious to me, what is it that I'm looking for in scrolling through these videos? What am I looking for? What I feel is that I'm distracting myself from a deeper thing that's going on behind that distraction. I'm essentially bored, restless, not satisfied. And in scrolling one video after the other, I'm trying to satiate that boredom, that restlessness, that dissatisfaction in watching these videos that make me laugh or make me think about something or grab my attention or whatever it is. And I will admit, there are Shorts and there are Reels that are very much so beneficial. Yeah, you hear a fire truck going by. There are very much so Reels, Shorts, TikToks, whatever, that are beneficial and are tidbits of information. It's like reading a poem. It's like a short little thing that really allows you to ponder on it and to shed light on another perspective or to learn about something. But think about like college or teaching. You don't learn in little bits, you know? You don't learn in these little. It takes a while to unveil the thing that's being taught. So we're not necessarily in a learning environment in watching all these TikToks and Reels and all this stuff. We're kind of wasting our time mindlessly scrolling because we're trying to avoid a feeling of dissatisfaction within. You know what I mean? I like to watch TikToks or Reels and that kind of stuff. That tells me about how I'm doing that. That tell me, hey, stop scrolling, you know what I mean? Do something better with your time. I like when those kind of reels sneak their way in. But yeah, it's honestly, it's just really cringy. We're so busy, so distracted, our attention span is just one thing to the next. In the beginning of this video, when we sat silently for a moment, the mind is just all over the place. It wants to do something else. Like I was saying, if you're still here, there were probably people that clicked off of this video because that moment of silence was what allowed for a space for that feeling of dissatisfaction to arise, so they click off and go into something else that's more interesting. You know? Like when you're watching Reels or Shorts or TikToks, you know how you'll see one and it doesn't fascinate you in 2 seconds, so then you scroll past it, and then one catches your attention, so you stay there and watch the 30-second video. How quickly it is that we're picking what's interesting and what's worth our time or what's worth scrolling by. You know what I mean? And as a YouTube creator, on YouTube Studio, there's something you can see called the analytics, where you can see how many people watched this video, how many people liked it, how many disliked it, how long they were watching the video before they clicked off. Absolutely trivial information. You know what I mean? I understand if your career is a YouTube creator, you want to be aware of what's holding an audience. But to me, and what my message is, that's not really where it's at. You know what I mean? Like, here's a funny example. So I saw this short one time, and I watched it, and it was like, the caption was like, "You'd never believe what he saw in this cave." And it was just a guy walking through a dark cave. And it was a 30-second clip, and nothing crazy happened in that span, that 30-second span. I went into the comments, and someone commented, "You really tested my patience with this video, bro." because nothing happened and he sat there waiting for something crazy to happen. He commented, "You really tested my patience with this video." Someone replied to him, "Bro, this was a 30-second video." And I thought that was hilarious. That's really the epitome of what I'm talking about right now. A 30-second video really tested the patience of this guy. 30 seconds. God, not to mention like sitting silently for 30 seconds. Oh God, what are you going to do? You're not watching a short for 30 seconds. You know what I mean? You're not running out into the external world trying to do something for 30 seconds. It's a moment of silence, And it's just, I don't know, man. It's weird. Like I said, I don't want to talk in a conspiratorial sense, but it seems like our attention span is being deteriorated by what's popular in social media. Short videos, clickbait, thumbnails, titles that are more fascinating than the actual content of the video. That kind of stuff. To give you another example, I was at the when I'm getting gas at the gas station, while my car is filling up with gas, it's playing TikToks on the screen of the gas pump. And I'm thinking to myself, do you really think I'm that pathetic of a human being that I need to sit here and watch TikToks while my car is filling up with gas? Absolutely absurd, man. Like it's so silly. It's so silly. For yet another example, I'm at the store and I'm doing the self-checkout thing. And while my receipt is printing, I check out all my objects, put them in the bag, pay. While my receipt is printing, which takes a second, it starts playing this little jingle, this little song for me. And it's like what the hell, man? Like just print my receipt. Like, I'm trying to get out of here. I don't need to be fascinated by a jingle while my receipt is printing. It's absurd, man. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird. I'm sure you're well aware of what I'm talking about. In doing what we're doing in this time by relentlessly scrolling and looking for these constant hits of information, we're deteriorating our ability to just be here. Going on a walk in nature isn't going to be as satisfying anymore. Meditating is going to seem impossible. Not just being on your own isn't going to seem fulfilling the more that we engage in these short, immediate gratifications of our interest and fascination. It makes what we're doing in social media and what's popular and all that stuff is it's making it harder for us to be content in the natural world, in our natural state. When your phone dies, that little feeling of like, what now? When the power goes out, I felt it. The power goes out. Oh, what now? You know what I mean? It's weird. And 50 years ago, maybe a little longer now, I don't know exactly, we didn't have phones, we didn't have TVs, definitely didn't have TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and all that nonsense. We were here. And we had all the other stuff that we did as well. We had board games, we had parties, we had get-togethers, we had, stuff we did in the world. But I feel like there's a quality of back then that we are in the process of losing in today's time because we're drowning in social media and just engagement in this nonsense information. You know what I mean? How many people today that woke up, think about how many people today woke up and immediately, the moment they woke up, turned over, grabbed their phone, and started scrolling through Instagram, or started checking their Snapchat, or going on TikTok. I'm not gonna say what we should and shouldn't be doing. I'm just telling you how I feel, and something in me intuitively feels that it's kind of setting yourself up for dissatisfaction, you know? Just, to me, it seems like we're distracted, we're not content, and we're trying to fill that void with social media. This little robot that I carry around, I wouldn't be able to function properly if it weren't for that. You know what I mean? I made a video a while ago talking about how attachment entraps you. I think that was the title of the video. How attachment entraps you. And in that video, I was talking about my recent experience in quitting vaping. And how prior to quitting vaping, I needed to have my vape on me everywhere I went. I couldn't go for a drive without my vape. I couldn't go for a walk without my vape. I couldn't go hang out with my friends without my vape. I couldn't go to work without my vape. So I was entrapped in needing that little robot that delivers nicotine smoke to me. I was entrapped in needing that on me at all times. And that may not seem like a big deal, but what it does is it puts you at a deficit of I need it on me. I need it on me. If my vape is dead, or if I don't have juice, I wake up and I don't have vape juice. Oh, gotta go to the store and get more vape juice because I can't survive without my vape. You know? Hey, you want to go on a walk? Nah, my vape is dead. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of stuff. Our phones are the very same thing. If we don't have our phones, if our phones aren't charged, if we don't have power even, we feel like we're at a lack. We're lacking. You know what I'm saying? It's weird, and it's really honestly a reflection of the inner state of us and where we're at now. The state of social media and stuff is a reflection of the state of our inner minds and how we feel inside and what we're thinking and stuff. And like I was saying in the beginning of the video, when we were sitting silently, people have been sitting silently for thousands of years. And people have also been struggling in sitting silently for thousands of years. And it's even worse now. It's even worse now. You know, I talk about all this meditation stuff. It's not easy to meditate. It's not easy for me to meditate. It's not easy for me to still the waters of the mind and to touch the place of peace that is inherent in what we are. The place of peace that shines when the waves and ripples of the mind cease to be for a moment and just calm down. Because when that happens, then you can see the fulfillment and the happiness and the serenity of this moment. But when it's all rippled, the characteristics and the quality of the ripples are trying to calm themselves down, you know? But the waves can't calm themselves down by creating more waves. We can't find contentment by going out and trying to find contentment so much. We need to stop. We need to chill out a little bit, quiet down, come back into nature, come back into the immediacy of this moment, and chill out a little bit. Just chill out a little bit. Quiet down. Chill out. Stop scrolling. You know? There's times where I'll click on Instagram and scroll through for 5 seconds, and then I'll go, like, close out of Instagram, and then I'll go right back into it. And it's like, what the hell? Like, I'll catch myself. I was like, dude, I was just in Instagram. I closed out of it, and then I'm back in it. It sucks you in. It sucks you in. And the only reason it's able to suck us in and waste our time is because we are giving it the ability and the permission to do so. In thinking that watching all these shorts and going through social media is as gratifying as we're making it out to be, we are giving it permission to suck us in even more. And like I was saying, I'm not here to tell you what we should and shouldn't do and all that stuff, but I'm just talking about how I intuitively feel that it's not really like beneficial to constantly be scrolling through reels and and being manipulated by thumbnails and titles and sucked into shit. Like, and I also must say that I am not the only one that is aware of this. There are apps now that you can get, and you have to like subscribe to them, because everything these days is a subscription that you have to pay for every month. But there's apps you can get that lock you from being able to go into social media. Or when you go into a social media app, it will restrict you and say, nope, you've been on for X amount of minutes or hours or whatever it is. That's your limit. You can't go in, you know? And I wonder how many people have like, screw you, and deleted that app locking thing they got and then went back into the social media. But yeah, I am not the only one that is aware of the degradation of our attention spans and the detrimental effects of social media and technology and all that stuff. I'm not the only one that's scheming on that stuff and thinking about it. It's weird, man. It's weird. And to speak of trying to appeal to the audience, I can feel in myself the desire, you know, because it's nice to have a bunch of views and a bunch of likes and a bunch of subscribers and be all popular and shit. I can feel in me the urge to make shorter videos, the urge to make clickbaity titles and thumbnails to try to draw you guys into it. But that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to trick you into watching my shit. I'm not trying to trick you into liking and subscribing my videos. I'm trying to just offer what I'm saying, and if you want to watch it and hang out, good. Here we are. That's awesome. That's what this is for, is to offer insights and share perspectives. I'm not trying to trick you. And when I see those kinds of videos and those kinds of YouTube accounts, it's cringy, and like I said, it's repulsive. It's like, no, don't, like, it could be about something that I'm genuinely interested in, but because they have a clickbait title with red arrows and circles and do this to get enlightened in 5 minutes, it's like, bro, that is so elementary and so, like, obvious to me that, like, you're just trying to trick me into getting engaged with your audience, with your stuff, with your content, you know? I once saw a YouTuber who doesn't make videos anymore, interestingly enough, and he was talking about how all these YouTubers tell you to hit the bell so that you know every time I get notified so you can come and watch every single video I make. But this YouTuber said, you know what? Don't hit the bell. I don't want you to know when I made a video, because what I want you to do is go outside, get into nature, be here now. Stop distracting yourself with technology and all that stuff. Don't hit the bell, man. And I thought that was so beautiful. It's like, yeah, exactly. That's the kind of person I want to hit the bell. That's the kind of person I want to subscribe and like and watch his videos and that kind of stuff. Not someone that's capitalizing on the shitty attention span of society these days. They're tricking you. And we are tricking ourselves in thinking that that's fulfilling us and filling the space, because it's not. If anything, it's making things worse for us. It's making things worse by scrolling for hours, you know? An hour goes by pretty quick when you're scrolling. I've done it before. I've scrolled for no reason for an hour or even longer maybe. And you know, they say time flies when you're having fun. Time also flies when you're distracted and not present. And that's the case when we're scrolling through all the content and stuff. Yeah, social media is weird these days. You know, TV is like dying off, and now it's like you know, subscriptions. Like I was saying a moment ago, subscriptions like the Netflix and the Roku and the Hulu and all that kind of stuff, and you know, actual channel television is kind of like cable is kind of dying off, and how everything is a subscription, where rather than making money off of people buying your products and consuming your products, you're making money off of subscriptions, of a monthly renewal, you know, all that stuff. Everything's a subscription. And like how everything is transitioning over to a technologically oriented thing, where you're able to do your taxes online. You're able to order groceries and have them brought to your house online. You're able to write your signature and do all that stuff online. You're able to schedule appointments and do all this online. Everything is digitized, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like, yeah, the intuitive feeling within me is that it's pulling us away from nature, from just right here. When you hear a stream running, when you go outside and you hear a stream trickling, or waves crashing on the seashore, or wind roaring through the trees, or a bird tweeting, or a leaf falling, or rain, the sound of rain on the roof, or on the leaves outside. Why is it that it's so relaxing? When you put on meditation sounds, why is it nature sounds? Thunder, rain, leaves, the sea, the ocean, birds, wind. Why is it that we feel so relaxed in the presence of nature? My understanding is that it tunes us back in. It tunes us back into the ancient presence of the beauty of Gaia, which is what we are. We are not separate from nature. We are nature. And we're downloading ourselves into these electronic robots that are plastic and rigid and, in my opinion, not conducive to our well-being, to use a common phrase and to put it in such a way. It's not conducive to our well-being. And the reason it's so relaxing to hear nature, to remember nature, is because we're remembering who we are. We're remembering what we've been walking away from for centuries on end now. We are remembering the presence of life, which, as I said, is what we are. We're remembering the peace, the moment, this moment. When you sit silently, when you meditate, that's the same thing. Oh, right, here we are, right now. If you ever listen to like Native American flute music or that kind of stuff, there's a very, very, very deep message reverberating in that song. And it reminds us of the life that we are, the tribal journey and adventure we've all been on for so long, and that we are losing sight of in this era that we live in now. We're not present. We're forgetting how to be present and content with what is. And you know, personally, to speak on a personal level, it can be alienating for me sometimes to in that sense, because someone asked me, hey, you want to go do this? You want to go bowling? You want to go to the bar, man? Hey, you want to go do this? And it's like, not really. It's like, and they're like, oh. And then I'm considered antisocial, introverted, not outgoing. But it's not that. People are just different, man. People are different, and yeah, it's something I definitely. There can be a feeling of alienation, ostracization from common people, because I'd rather sit silently or go on a walk in nature or talk with one other person about deep stuff, how we're feeling, how our life is, how crazy it is to be alive, that kind of stuff, go on a hike, rather than get drunk or go to the bar or go out to eat or that kind of stuff. And yeah, it can make me feel weird sometimes, because it's like, I want to hang out with you, bro, but I don't want to do what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, I want to meet, I want to connect, I want to get deep, I want to be present with this life and talk about love and pain and sadness and the state of humanity and all this stuff. And I've tried to go out and do normal stuff, but it's not, it's kind of exhausting, and I can feel how it's almost like empty feeling. It's like, why are we doing this? You know what I mean? But then I'll be like, forget it, bro. Like, just be here now, But yeah, that's kind of straying from what we're talking about. I mean, not really. It's kind of talking about how we're not present. We're always out doing shit. We're always out scrolling. We're always out doing stuff to distract us from the feeling of pain and lack of contentment within that we don't know how to get rid of. So we're trying our asses off to figure out how to get rid of it by doing all this stuff that, I must admit to you, isn't fulfilling that space. The alleviation of our pain is only to come through a different way. And that way is not seeking something out here. It's not through TikTok. It's not through TikToks. It's not through scrolling. It's not through Reels. It's not through, you know what I'm saying? It's within. It's an inner transformation. I think many people are realizing that too. That the stuff that they've always done isn't fulfilling that space within them. And a lot of people who haven't recognized that are, I think, sort of in this death roll of trying to do what they've always done, but it's not really cutting the mustard anymore. It's not really fulfilling that thing, so they're doing it even more. They're scrolling. They scroll for an hour and they still feel dissatisfied, so now they scroll for 2 hours. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So yeah, you guys get the vibe. I know you do. If you're still here, I know you got the vibe. And to the people who clicked off, if any, in the 2-minute period of sitting silently, I hope you found something more interesting to listen to. And honestly, I hope you feel the joy and the beauty of what you are without having to extract it from the outside, I hope you're aware of how beautiful you are. I mean, and you don't hear me saying that because you clicked off. I'm just playing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just wanted to talk about social media and the sort of the deterioration of our attention span with what's popular in social media these days. So if you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you know when I upload a video. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. I have never, ever said such a thing in my video, and I'm not going to start now. Like this video if you like the video. You could even like the video and not like the video. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. It's silly, dude. Okay. Alright. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you felt the vibe. And I will see you in my next video. Namaste.